I wanted to make a video addressing another video I made in reference to an Xbox Series S test of the Bioshock collection. The old patch that wasn't updated, that was released for the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X, favored the PS4 Pro in image quality, effects work, and frame rate at times, even though both were pretty similar at 60 frames per second. And it carried over to this generation, so the collection looked best on the PS4 Pro when comparing it to the Series S. But here's the kicker. I went in and I disabled the auto HDR on the Xbox Series S, and that did the trick. The game looks phenomenal on the Xbox Series S. It is almost identical to the PlayStation 4 Pro version, and I'd say it's identical at this point. So I wanted to make that correction because I feel it's important, and Bioshock Infinite on the Xbox Series S is the better version visually as well. The reflections in the water are so much clearer and the lighting is so much more pronounced. It's incredible. I actually went back again and looked, and because it was the newer game, that patch favored the Xbox One X, and by default, it looks better on the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series S. You've got to go download these games or get the collection if you don't already have it. Play them on your Xbox Series S or X. They are absolutely phenomenal to go back to, and the 60 frames per second mode is locked. And with Bioshock Infinite, it is native 4K with that 60 frames per second locked on the Xbox Series S and the Xbox Series X, and it makes such a huge difference. And it's interesting, the auto HDR, you would think, would make every game look better, but some of these older games were designed without HDR in mind, and sometimes when you enable that auto HDR, which is enabled by default on the Xbox Series consoles, a lot of the colors and the lighting get washed out and they don't look as sharp. And that is what happened with this collection when I looked at it on the PS4 Pro and the Xbox Series S. Something was wrong. I couldn't understand it. Why did the PlayStation 4 Pro look so much better than the Xbox Series S? The Xbox Series S is a much more capable system, CPU, GPU-wise. It has all the enhanced features, so there was something about it that I just couldn't shake in my mind after doing that video. Then I remembered actually in the video I mentioned auto HDR. So I had to go in, disable it in the setting, start these games over again, because then you have to apply that change to the games, and it looks amazing. This is Bioshock Infinite. Take a look at the lighting. Take a look at the reflections in the water, and that applies to the entirety of the game. When you get out of this opening segment into the world, it is unbelievable looking in native 4K at 60 frames per second. I needed to make that correction. I wanted to make sure people got the right information when it comes to their Series S, because I have a Series S. I'm enjoying the console very much. I could imagine how much better everything looks on the Xbox Series X, but for right now, I'm very happy with the Series S. Disable auto HDR, and I recommend doing that for all of the older titles if you're playing them on your new console, and see how they look with and without that auto HDR, because I'm sure there are a few more titles that look even better with auto HDR disabled than they do with auto HDR enabled. So, point of information, no difference at this point. Xbox Series S, you get all the bells and whistles, 60 frames per second. That auto HDR was causing the problem. I wanted to make sure everybody knew that. Thank you for watching this video. Please think about liking and subscribing, helping me grow this channel. 31 subscribers already. I can't believe it. Thank you so much. That's great for someone like me on YouTube. And think about sharing it out for me on your favorite social media platform of choice. That would help me as well. I just have YouTube, so it's difficult to get your content out there for people to know who you are or where you are. I'd appreciate that as well. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in the next video.